check out IPVanish in the description below. This is a VPN which you know is obviously going to help all of you guys who are still struggling with that crappy 3 p.m. blackout that we still have as a rule in England in big 2025. But you guys already know VPNs help you get access to other countries and their networks which are allowed to show the 3 p.m.s. So if you guys head down in the description or just scan the barcode, which is on the screen here somewhere. If you guys want to scan that, you get up to 83% off with IPVanish.
Hello, everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I hope you're all doing very, very well. I'm here with Don, Greasy Don, and obviously we've come off the back of the win against Tottenham 1-0. What, Don, just a quick one. What does Greasy Don even mean? Like, what is Greasy?
Bro, Greasy just means like, it's not a word people really use these days, but Greasy basically just meant like cool, you know, greasy. It's like cold, isn't it? It kind of means like cold. Like if like back in the day, like Hazard was greasy, bro. You know what I mean? Hazard was just greasy. It just means like you're tough. You know what I mean? You're cold. Everything that's like cool. You know what I mean? So that was my Twitter name when I first made Twitter. I've been on Twitter since 2010. So I was in school at the time, innit?
I'm with you. Hey, to be fair, Don, there's been worse names out there, so I don't even think that's a bad one. I quite like it.
Yeah, I've never changed it. I've just never changed it. And then, yeah, some people still call me Greasy now. But yeah, man, that's where it came from.
Fair enough. Listen, Don, let's start on Spurs, and then we can get a little bit more specific with some of the other stuff that's going on. Obviously, being Tottenham, that was always a big game. It's weird, isn't it? Because you know you're going to win it, but you still have to win it, and everyone's really happy when you've done it. Whereas if we would have beaten any other team that we know we're going to beat anyway, it wouldn't have been the same. But
I didn't think we were going to win.
Same old story with Tottenham, isn't it?
Well, yeah, same old story. I'm happy it's the same old story, but I'll be honest, bro. Going into the game, I was not confident, right? I've watched a lot of Tottenham games this season. They're lacking creativity and they're lacking, you know, real attacking threat. But at the same time, we have not been defending well, Alex. And when I'm seeing how they're scoring their set pieces, for example, against Everton, 2 of them just getting whipped in, Van de Ven scoring both of them, I was scared, bro. You know what I mean? I was scared. I saw Chalobah left centre back. He's not great there, but yesterday I thought he was fantastic, right? I saw obviously Gusto and restarting, which means one of them's playing out of position. I didn't know who. You know what I'm saying? I saw Neto and Garnacho starting the game as well, and for me, that pairing, I don't like it. I feel like they're the same problem offensively. They're very good defensively, no problem with that, working hard. But on the ball, going forward, for me, we win by more goals without them on the pitch, right? I think we create better chances without them on the pitch. You know what I'm saying? That's the only down part that I was, you know, really annoyed by. But overall, I thought, again, Chalobah played well. I thought Reece in the midfield played better than I expected. Our whole back line was fantastic, bro. Fofana, you see the quality he brings into this team. He just needs to stay fit, man. That's the thing about him. It's the same story as Reece, same story as Lavia. These guys are good enough to be helping Chelsea win trophies and challenge for the league, but they just need to stay fit. You know what I'm saying, bro? You know? Yeah. But yeah, that's how I kind of looked at the game, man. Caicedo, you know, what more can I say about this guy, man? It's his 24th birthday today, and
is it,
bro?
Happy birthday to
him. Happy birthday, Moises, man. I saw you saw him in it. He walked away, he walked off.
Yeah, when I was speaking to Nina, yeah, he just walked past. I thought to myself, do I go up to him and like shake his hand? But I feel like half of these players are, well, I know they're not really supposed to speak to us, but I feel like they're scared of us half the time, mate. I remember we went up to like Joe Shields and all the rest of them at Lincoln. It's like they struggled to get a word out. They're like, woo. And I just think to myself, just appreciate the guy, fair play. And get on with the rest of your day, mate. I'm sure you've got a lot of other people that are going to come up to you. But yeah, he was walking past very casually. I'm not really sure how that works and why he was on his own and he wasn't with the rest of the team. Like I would have just presumed that everyone would go on a bus together.
He was walking with security, wasn't he?
He just had one bloke with him. I mean, I wouldn't call it security. It was just a Chelsea staff member.
Like, yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, obviously, it was still in London. Maybe he went out. Maybe he went out after, man. You know
what? Out on the piss?
No. I don't. Caicedo's not the type to be doing that. I don't think, man. He looks like a family man. I don't see him doing that.
Has he got kids?
He's got a kid. He's got a daughter.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
build
that
the
would
same
make
girl.
sense then.
Yeah, it's built the same girl since Ecuador, bro. They came together.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I thought Caicedo was unbelievable. Honestly, I thought it was unbelievable. I'm going to ask the question, even though I know people don't like to. People don't want to give an answer, and I kind of appreciate why. But we've always got to ask the question: who's better, Kante or Caicedo?
Caicedo, bro.
Oh,
You know what
simple
I
as
mean?
that. Okay.
Yeah. I think Caicedo, bro. I think for me, it's clear to see that he's got more to his game, right? Kante was fantastic off the ball, right? Very similar to Caicedo. He used to win the ball back for us. Very good at driving with it. You know, very progressive on the ball in terms of actually running through players and whatnot. But in terms of the player that's got more to their game, bro, the passing range, again, he's elite off the ball as well. The shooting, you know what I'm saying, bro? I'll probably say Kante's probably got better ball carrying, but Caicedo's not a bad ball carrier either. We just need to see him play more like a box-to-box, and you'll see it more often. But for me, I think when you're looking at their attributes, Caicedo ticks more things off, right? Kante wasn't really a great shooter. A lot of his shots were like, you know, just kind of straight into the keeper's hands. I know he scored a couple good goals, but he wasn't the best shooter. I feel like Kante wasn't the best passer either. There was many games where I used to look at him and think, yo, you're running through everyone, and then the final pass, the weight of pass ain't great. You know what I mean? He hasn't made that pass. He hasn't been able to find that pass. So that was the frustrating thing with Kante. But I'm not saying Kante is a bad player. Because for me, he's one of my favorite players. When I'm playing, people like to say I play like Kante. I play with like Ramirez. So he's a guy that I was, looking at his game and trying to emulate it in my game, right? You know what I'm saying? But between the two of them, I see more in Caicedo's game, and I think Caicedo's got a higher ceiling. And right now, I see more in his game. So all he needs to do is just win trophies at Chelsea. Then he can be a real conversation of, yeah, I think he's better. Because the thing people are doing now is, oh, well, how is he better? Kante won the Champions League and Kante won that. It's like, we know Kante won these things, right? You can't debate about their career. Who's had a better career at Chelsea? That's a different debate. But if you just look at them as individuals, yeah, not as a team collective, team accomplishment. When you look at them as individuals, I think Caicedo ticks off more boxes. I'll be honest, man.
It's interesting as well, because when you look at the two players, I almost look at those players and you can kind of compare the way Chelsea have played as well when you look at those the different styles, i.e. Kante, great off the ball, Caicedo, great off the ball as well, but also great on the ball. What we saw with Kante, we saw his best football when we were counter-attacking, when we had Antonio Conte, that 2-year period. That was Kante at his peak. And then obviously we had Sarri, who came in. He was never as good under Sarri.
He got played as a 10, bro. He got played as a 10. That was weird.
I mean, he was never as good in that system. And even under Lampard, like, he was great, but he was never as good as he was under Conte. I always think that 2 years we never saw that again to the same level. Still fantastic, obviously.
I think the year we won the Champions
League,
maybe
Tuchel, actually. Yes, you're
Tuchel
right
as well. Yeah, no, Tuchel 100%.
That's fair. 100%. That is fair. But the one thing that I can say about Caicedo is he strikes me as a player that can play in any system, counter-attacking, possession-based, low block, all of them. And Kante is a player that I think really worked well in those counter-attacking systems, more so than a possession-based side when you have to break down teams. And if there's one thing I'd use to compare the two, it would be that if I was breaking down a low block, I'd always pick Caicedo over Kante. Whereas if we were trying to sit back ourselves, then I think Kante would be a great option. I also think Caicedo would be a great option.
This is the thing. Like, Caicedo gives you the best of both worlds, bro, because he's got more to his game. It's as simple as that, right? Kante's end product, I'm telling you, bro, like, on the ball, it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best, man. It was not the best, bro. When I'm watching the way Caicedo dictates games, controls games, look at him in the first phase, bro. The touch that he took yesterday to barge, I can't remember who it was. He just barged someone off the ball. Yeah, Kante wasn't weak. Obviously, Kante was quite physical as well, but he was more, center of gravity because of his height. It's very hard to take the ball off of him because he's small, closer to the ground. Whereas Caicedo is just a physical beast. Yeah, the way he shifted Kudus yesterday, bro. Kudus is not a weak guy. Kudus is strong. Yeah. That's the first ever time, the whole time I've been watching Kudus, I've ever seen him go flying like that, bro. And that was from Caicedo. Barged him out the way, Alex. You know what I'm saying, bro? So this guy, honestly, we haven't even seen the best of him. Yeah. Yesterday was a little indicator of what he can do if you put him further up the pitch. Because people were, you know, when I brought this up last international break about who I think is a better player, right? A lot of people were getting mad in the group chat. Like, oh, how can you say that? Kante was a different level. Kante used to win the ball back on a different level. I said, bro, Kante had the freedom to basically roam the whole pitch because he was a box-to-box, right? Caicedo hasn't got the freedom to do that because he mainly plays as our DM, yeah? So you might look at the stats and say, okay, Kante was winning the ball back at a higher rate. But if you play Caicedo further up, like what we did yesterday, Alex, in certain phases, you will see him winning the ball back like Kante, bro. The way he won the ball back for the goal that we scored, that's what Kante used to do. Caicedo can do it too. And that's the point that I was making. You play him further forward. You play him as a box-to-box. You will see Caicedo, you know, left mid, right mid, up front, in the middle, winning it the way Kante used to, bro. But if you've got him playing as a DM, he can't do that because he's got to be more disciplined. He has to stay in that position. You know what I'm saying, bro? And that's why it's important that we get Lavia fit. We get Lavia fit, right? We play Santos more often. Caicedo has the license to go further because there's someone behind him. When he's the furthest man in the midfield, he can't do it, bro. You know what I'm saying? He can't do it. So that's where I'm at with him, man. I want to. The final form of Caicedo is a box to box. That would be the final form of Caicedo, bro.
So that for you is like that's the position that you want to see him playing in regularly, but we just don't have the opportunity to see it.
Exactly, bro. He will score goals for us. He will create for us. This ain't the first time we've seen him counter pressing like that, Alex.
And would that be with Enzo beside him, or do you see a different pair?
Bro, it depends on the game. It depends on the game, bro. Even if you don't start Enzo, you start Caicedo there with a Palmer next to him. I'm calm with that. You bring Enzo off the bench. I'm calm with that. You know what I mean, bro? Injuries happen. You know, for certain games, you need a 3-man midfield, a physical, strong 3-man midfield who'll be in there as well. Yeah. We won that game yesterday because of our counter pressing. That was a big reason why we won that game. We were not letting Spurs play their game. We were winning our first balls, was winning our second balls. Imagine Caicedo doing that from further up, Alex. Teams aren't getting out. Teams will not be able to get out of that press, bro. It will be so difficult because you know you've got Caicedo on your back. That's going to make the goalkeeper jittery. That's going to make the centre backs jittery. That's going to make the midfielders jittery about what they do because the moment they take a touch, bam, yeah. How many more big games is this guy going to turn up in, Alex? PSG final, Liverpool every time we play them, Man United every time we play these guys. Even the Arsenal games. I know we haven't won these Arsenal games, but if you actually go watch who was probably the best midfielder on the day, at the Bridge, it was Caicedo. At the Emirates last year when we lost 1-0, it was Caicedo, bro. You know what I'm saying? Tottenham. How many times has this guy done his thing against Tottenham? Yeah. Remember I was telling you yesterday when we played Tottenham at home last season, he got injured. Actually, no, I was telling Nina. He got injured early in that game, Alex. And we was all like, fuck, Caicedo can't go down like this. And he was man of the match comfortably the whole game, playing with a limping knee. You know what I'm saying? This guy, bro, he can go down as an all-timer. And that's why it's important that we build properly around them. We didn't build properly around Kante. Kante only won 1 Premier League at Chelsea Football Club. That's a disgrace. Yeah. Kante and Hazard were playing with guys like Higuain and Morata and that, bro.
Bakayoko,
Zappacosta, right? These are the sort of players that they were playing with, Kepa and that. We need to make sure that we're building around this guy and bringing talent around him because we can't have Caicedo leaving and he's not decorated. Yeah. I look at KDB and all these guys that were at Man City. Bro, look how much trophies they've got in comparison to Hazard. Hazard, for me, my era, Alex, I've never seen a better player than Hazard in the Prem. Listen, I'm not old enough to remember Henry in his pomp. I remember him towards the end, but not in his pomp at Arsenal. Yeah, I was too young. But what I've seen in my lifetime, bro, I've not seen a better player than Hazard. But then in the Prem. But then you go and look at his trophy haul. It's a joke. It's not bad. It could be worse, but it should be a lot more, right? And I don't want to be saying that about Caicedo. I do not want to be saying that about Caicedo. When it's all said and done at Chelsea, if he moves on or if he retires here, I want to be seeing him with 5 Premier Leagues, bro. Yeah, 2 Champions Leagues, right? I want to see him with multiple FA Cups, multiple Carabao Cups, yeah, multiple PFA and PFA awards and all these things. But we're only going to do that if we build correctly. That's the only way, bro.
24 years old, Don. So you've got plenty of time to build around him. And then it's a case of, finding players that can slot in. But I mean, the whole model is based on, for the majority at least, spending enough money on all these different players, and one of them's going to stick. But I mean, Caicedo is a great example of just buy someone who's ready straight away for big money, and it does work, and he's clearly good enough. I'd say the same with Fernandes, to be fair, although he's a little bit more up and down. Like, I don't feel like he's untouchable, but I still like Fernandes. I think that compared to the beginning of last season, like, he's grown a lot. He's had a lot of good moments, and I think he's adapted well for what Maresca wants him to do, even though we probably prefer him to be deeper at times.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Fofana, though. We're just going to go back to him because
Brilliant.
Last season, mate, like, I've always been critical of Fofana just because he's injured. I don't think you can do much if you're injured. It's like the example I use is, imagine you've got a girlfriend, you only have sex like 10 times a year. You've got another 300 odd days. Like, what's the point? What's the point, Don? You can talk about the good times. Do you remember when we did this? It's like, what about, when's the next time? When are we going to do it again? It's true, Don. It's true.
No, it's true. It's true.
This is what I don't like about Fofana, and my argument has always been, and it still is, Don, even with the mistakes that Tossin's made, is Tossin is a more important player because we can count on him. Like any player that is available, Don, is going to give you more than a player that's injured. That's just the fact of football. That's a fact of life.
I hear it.
But what I will say, Don, is last season we could get away with it a lot more because we were able to play those Conference League matches, obviously knocked out early in both domestic cups. So you didn't really get found out as much in whatever it was, the 15 games. Whereas now you play Tossin on a Tuesday, a Wednesday, and a Saturday. It's just not the same. And I do feel like he is a player that is ultimately a squad player at best. I mean, I've always known that, but at least he's in the squad. Like, that's half the battle with Fofana. Then it's just about keeping him fit. I mean, fair play to James, because now I feel like I can actually count on him to stay fit for a whole season as long as we don't push him too hard. Like we saw with Potter when Chilwell and James both got injured. Like, that was just mismanagement, and you don't want to make things worse than they need to be. But if you're doing the bare minimum and players are still getting injured, that for me is where we've got a bit of a problem. So listen, I'm happy to give Fofana the time this season to obviously recover, develop, get better. But to be quite frank, if the guy gets injured again, Don, he's got to go. He's got to go as far as I'm concerned. If he gets another long-term injury, Fofana is not. He's on too much money, mate, to keep worrying about, when he comes back, because he's not back for long enough. He's not doing enough, and you need to have more than 5-10 games a year in order to be a real asset. That's the way I see it, mate.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. You're right. I even said last season, like, Lavia and Fofana, they need to be afterthoughts in this team, simply because we can't depend on them, right? We are so much better. We are so much stronger with Lavia and Fofana in the team. But what help is there with them when they're never there, Alex, or they're there 5% of the season, 10% of the season? And the problem with those two, when they get injured, it's never just 1 or 2 games. Because 1 or 2 games, you confirm Tossin coming in, and then Fofana comes back, he plays 10 games, he goes again for 1 or 2 games. I can deal with something like that. When that guy goes, bro, he goes for months. You know what I'm saying? Bro? The guy's gone for months, right? That's the problem with guys like Fofana and Lavia. They always get injured and then they're gone for ages. You know what I'm saying, bro? So I'm just hoping that in January, we potentially bring Sarr back from Strasbourg. He's a player that I think would suit the system like a glove because he can defend his wide areas. He's tall. He's composed. He's a good ball-playing centre-back as well. He knows how to progress with the ball. You know what I'm saying? So we need adequate backup on that side just in case Fofana can't stay fit. But you're right. If he gets injured again for another long-term injury, you're probably gonna have to cut your losses. But it's difficult because every time, bro, when it comes to the window, the guy's usually injured. Because even the summer that just went, he was fucking injured. He couldn't come to the Club World Cup, right? He had to stay at home. You know what I mean? So we just have to hope that he stays fit, man. Because honestly, he is so good, right? He is the exact profile that Maresca wants in his team because he is able to defend those wide areas. He's very front-facing, right? Front-forward thinking. the headers yesterday he was winning, Alex. I saw he won 6 out of 6 aerial duels. Yeah, that's what you want. You want a defender who is comfortable attacking the ball when the striker is about to bring it down. Yeah,
that's something that Tottenham doesn't do very well, actually. Even though he's really tall, he's not actually that great aerially.
He's not great aerially, bro. He's not that aggressive. Yeah, he's a little bit, I'm gonna let him turn me. I'm gonna let him turn me. Yeah, Fofana ain't trying to let you turn him. And even if you bring the ball down, Fofana, he's still quick. He's still quick, Alex, bro. That's one thing about that guy. Regardless of the injuries, he doesn't seem to lose his pace. You know what I'm saying? So he's quite lucky on that front, because a lot of players lose their pace when they get injured. With him, he seems like his pace is still there, right? But honestly, 1v1, it is so hard to get past that guy. Him and Reece are comfortably our best defenders, yeah? And Cucurella, of course, right? But Fofana, centre-backs, bro, there's no debate for me. He's the best centre-back at Chelsea. He just needs to stay fit, man. He'll be so key in helping us get back in the title race and win some trophies this year, because he's just so good. He's just so good defensively, man. And one thing about him as well, Alex, he's actually a threat in the box. I know we haven't seen many headers from him at Chelsea, but I'm telling you, if you remember the goal against AC Milan, he scored in the Champions League. I remember the goal that he scored against Bournemouth. I think it was away against Bournemouth as well. No, actually, that was at home.
That was when we had our big drought, right?
Yeah,
goal. That one.
Yeah, exactly, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? So I'm telling you, Fofana just needs to play, man. Right now, we need to use him in the Prem. Don't worry about these Champions League games in Baku and that. Leave him for that, bro. Yeah, play Tossing and these guys for those sort of games. Champions League right now, Premier League right now, Fofana needs to be in the 11, even if it's 70 minutes. Yeah, and then you bring Josh on off the bench. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah, no, mate, I'm all for Fofana playing more games. I really am. I just want the guy to stay fit. Well, what do you think about the late substitution, though, mate? Because 89th minute, you bring Tosin on for Fofana. And I'm thinking to myself, I'll be honest with you, like, I haven't got a problem with bringing on a defender at the last minute. But Fofana's already played the whole match. And
yeah,
I know from, like, I'm not a massive football player myself, but I know from sport in general, like, once you get acclimatized to an environment and you're in there, you are the best person to continue finishing off the job, because whoever comes in, he doesn't know the tempo. He hasn't played with the back line. There's, you have to reset in that sense. You don't necessarily know how he's going to get on in those duels that Fofana's then been winning, and it just seemed like a strange substitution. I mean, this is the second time as well that we've seen Tosin come on, and I'm just like, I know people didn't like the one against Sunderland when Achimpong came off, but I kind of understood it tactically, because I knew that Maresca's probably looking for those through ball passes. Tosin's quite good at that. Defensively, I wouldn't make any excuse for it. But I mean, that if there was one justification, that's what I could say. With this game, I can't justify anything, Don. Maybe the fact that he's slightly injury prone, but if it was that bad, Don, you would have said, right, we're going to give him 60 minutes, and then he's going to come off, or we're going to give him 70 minutes. The game's already done, so why stretch it out and give fans another reason to criticize you? I mean, maybe there's something going on behind the scenes with the physio, and this was always the plan if we had to do it. But I highly doubt that, mate. I feel like it's just a bit of tinkering going on.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, bro. I'll be honest with you, man. What difference does 6 minutes make? You're right. Like, if it was muscle load management or injury load management, whatever you want to fucking call it, right? You take him off a lot earlier. Yeah. It was the 89th minute. 89th minute, bro. Yeah. And last week you saw what Tosin was doing. It nearly gave me deja vu, because last week Josh was our best centre back. He gets taken off. Fofana yesterday was comfortably our best centre back, and then he gets taken off. Right. And you already know what I think of Tosin and Chalobah as a pairing, because
as soon as he came on, Don, you were fuming, mate.
Bro, I was fuming. I was fuming, because these are the sort of decisions where you end up dropping points. Yeah. And the optics don't look great when you drop points. Because right now, Alex, we're on 17 points. I think we're back in the top 5, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. But we lost that game when we dropped points. You're having to start chasing people now, bro. You know what I'm saying? I know it's early in the season, but bro, we've got Wolves next, Burnley when we come back. I'm looking at 6 points there to climb up again. You know what I mean? Because we fucked up last week. These guys owe us. Yeah. So these little, constantly tinkling and taking off centre backs, I don't like it. Centre back is a position where you don't make subs, Alex. Right? I've always known it to be a position where centre backs play 90 minutes. Unless they get injured, they play 90 minutes. Yeah. Or if you're bringing these guys back from injury. Well, take man off with 6 minutes to go. I'm with you on this one, bro. I didn't really understand that decision. Man.
I saw a video as well. I don't know if you saw this one of Neto, because obviously where they're sat, they're right in front of some Spurs fans, and I think him and another player were stood up, and they were all like, "Sit down." And Neto looked back at him, and he was like, "Fuck you." Have you seen that one?
I saw it,
mate, I loved it.
He starts putting his tongue out. Yeah, I see it. Nah, Neto's funny, man. He's a funny guy.
He's got character. You know, I know a lot of people don't like Neto.
I like it.
There's a bit of a split on. Some people love him, some people don't like him. I personally quite like him, and I appreciate the defensive work rate. Like, even when he went down injured, I thought, fair enough. Like, you've given 110%, but on the ball, when he came off and then Esteval came on, you could see it was night and day, mate.
Night and day, man. Night and day, bro. Right? I know it was only West Ham, yeah, but if you remember the West Ham game, Neto worked really hard off the ball, but on the ball, he was fantastic as well. Yesterday, yes, he came up against Spence, but I'm sorry, man, I expect more from you. You know, some of the passing was off. He just kept trying to cross the ball. He barely ran past Spence, yeah. There's not much variety in Neto's game. That's his problem, Alex. He's very one-dimensional. It's very much get the ball, cut in, cross, yeah. He might give you the odd step over and run past someone, but he doesn't do it enough, right? He doesn't take enough risks. That's the problem that you've got with Neto, because for me, he's got the pace, he's got the skill. Use it more often. He's strong as well, yeah? I like the fact that he was shooting more yesterday, but I feel like he could have even taken a little bit of time with some of the shots that he had yesterday. There's a chance that he had in the box where he shot with his right foot. He could have gone closer to goal, if you remember that one, yeah? He could have gone a little bit closer to goal, right? Because this guy should be scoring more goals. But you're right, when Esteval comes on, you're seeing the link-up play. Those two chances that we created at the end of the game, Esteval played a big part in it with the passing, bro. The vision to play the ball, slip it through to João Pedro, and then João Pedro to find Gittins, yeah? Even after that missed chance, he played the ball to Enzo. Enzo played the ball to João Pedro. João Pedro nearly scored, right? That's the difference that I'm talking about on the ball, yeah? And yes, Neto off the ball was fantastic. It helped us win the game off the ball, fantastic. But how people are describing him to me, it's like we've signed a wing back. It's like what people used to say with Gallagher. Oh, Gallagher's not great on the ball, but he's fantastic off of it. He presses, he works hard, right? I expect more from my wingers, Alex. I expect more offensively from my wingers, yeah? And one thing about Esteval, he knows how to work off the ball. He might not be as physical as Neto, right? But he knows how to defend. You know what I'm saying, bro? I've seen him do it at Chelsea. I've seen him do it at Palmeiras. The guy knows how to defend, yeah? So we need to be seeing him starting more games, because we need to be getting the job done, and then you start to bring players off the bench. I feel like with Esteval and Gittins right now, they feel like, oh, if we're losing, let's chuck them on and we're chasing the game. That's how it feels to me. Whereas I'm like, Gittins and Esteval starting, I reckon we'll create better chances, because I think they're better players. I think Gittins is better than Garnacho, and I think Esteval for me is better than Neto, bro. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm kind of at with it right now.
There's no disputing that Esteval is better than Neto on the balls. No disputing that whatsoever. But Gittins and Garnacho, I'll be honest with you, mate. I haven't made a decision like who I think is better. But if you ask me right now, let's just say when we signed them, actually, who do I think is going to start more games? I would have always said Garnacho. So I'm not surprised that Garnacho has been starting more games. That being said, I think that you're seeing the inconsistencies from both players. For me, Garnacho is much of a muchness a lot of the time. Like, I kind of see similar things from him. And at some point that will come off, and other times that won't come on. Whereas Gittins, I'm seeing a little bit more of a he's doing really well and he's really shy. Like that's the way I look at Gittins. Garnacho, I'm trying to think if he had a few chances where he definitely could have had a pop, mate, but I don't remember any real trouble.
A shot on goal. You remember first half he had a shot on goal which just got saved.
Yeah,
he didn't create nothing. He didn't take on Porro, bro. Gittins
he did create one chance at the beginning, because if you don't remember, right at the beginning of the game, Garnacho, because when it was pressing, mate, the ball come off him, and then João Pedro had a shot on.
João Pedro had a shot on goal. Yes. I remember that.
I think Garnacho, it's almost similar to Neto in a way. Like, I think his work rate's been pretty good, actually.
Yeah, he
Like,
works
I
hard.
haven't had an issue with his work rate. This is another thing that people have criticised, mate. Is he doesn't work hard enough, blah, 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 all of this. I think there's moments of... there's definitely moments where I watch him and I'm like, come on, mate. Like Brentford. And I thought, actually, he was really good on the ball. But then off the ball, he lets us down. That's what everyone wants to talk about. We haven't had much of that recently.
Yeah.
But then you're saying, okay, show me something on the ball. Because I think that against Lincoln, when the whole team was poor, I thought Garnacho was probably one of our better players, alongside Gittins, to be fair. I thought when he come on against Bayern, he was pretty good. I thought when he come on against Brentford on the ball, he was pretty good. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm seeing some good signs here. And in the past, in the past games, I mean, Sunderland, I thought people were a bit harsh on him because he got his goal. So let's not read too much into that. But even this Tottenham game, I want to see a bit more, mate. I do want to see a bit more. But that being said, Don, like, we've had some players that have had some shockers when they first come in, and they need a bit of time to adapt. And I don't think that's any different for Garnacho. I'll say the same thing for Gittins as well. Although I think Gittins is more raw than Garnacho. It does seem like he's got more potential, if you want to call it that. But, you could say the same about a number of players, Mudryk being one, and that can take a little bit of time to come to fruition. Like before the Wolves game, if you would have said, how do we develop Gittins? I would have said, send him on loan. He's not good enough to start for us on a regular basis. But now I'm like,
he's good enough to come off the bench, though. He's good enough to come off the bench, and for me now,
I agree with you. Like now I've seen what he can do against Wolves as an example. I go, fair enough. I mean, Gittins should have scored, mate. To be fair, so it's a difficult debate. I don't think it's an easy debate. I don't think you can say black and white that Gittins is better than Garnacho. But I'm not sitting here saying that Garnacho's a million miles ahead. But in terms of what he's done in his career, I think that Garnacho is going to be the player that starts the majority.
Well, listen, it can't be set in stone like that. This ain't fucking. I'm trying to think of a top left winger, bro. This ain't. I don't know. This ain't Kvaratskhelia. This ain't KK at PSG, where man's just guaranteed to be starting. It's Garnacho, who should be a bench player for a team like Chelsea anyway, right?
Yeah, but so you can say the same about Gittins. This is what I'm saying.
You can say the same about debate. Of course, but I'm just saying that right now, for me, Garnacho is not a guaranteed. He's not a guaranteed starter in this team, and it shouldn't be a guaranteed starter in this team because yes, a few games has showed us something, but he's still not showed me enough. Right? Yesterday, for example, you're up against Porro. Porro is not the best, one of the best fullbacks defensively, bro. You can get at that guy. Yeah, Garnacho did nothing to him on the outside, absolutely nothing. Right? And it shows you because when Gittins came on, I saw he took on he had 2 completed take-ons, more than Garnacho did the whole game. And Gittins was on for what, 15 minutes, right? When Gittins came on, they had to move Spence to right back. They took Porro off and moved Spence to right back because they knew what time it was. Yeah, if Gittins was to start the game, he would have never been against Porro. It would have been against Spence. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I want a little bit of dynamism, Alex. I want a bit of risk taking. Look what Esteval brings to the team on the wing.
I think Garnacho does take risks. I do think Garnacho takes risks.
What,
people criticize him when he gives the ball away. I mean, that's because he's trying to take players on.
Nah, man, I don't think Garnacho takes man on like that. Right? He's very good at retaining the ball. You know what I mean? Like that's one thing I'll say about him. Like in terms of retaining the ball and first touch. I mean, Gittins hasn't got a bad first touch, but he retains the ball a little bit better than Gittins. But when it comes to just running at your man, attacking your man, Gittins is better. Gittins is a guy where fullbacks are like, fuck, it's going to be a long afternoon. Whereas Garnacho, I feel like fullbacks don't mind coming up against him because he's weak. He doesn't really take on his man. He's good with the cutbacks, I can't lie. And he knows how to run in behind. So Enzo should have found him in behind. For example, he was making a good run, right? But other than that, I want to see more dynamism on that side, man. I want to see more dynamism there, bro.
I don't know, man. Like again, I was very happy with what I saw from Gittins the other day, mate, against Wolves. But I mean, if you're asking me to compare that Spurs game, I just go, yeah. I mean, either of those players could have started, and if they have if Gittins does what Garnacho did, I would have gone all right. And if Garnacho did what Gittins did, I would have gone all right. Like,
yeah,
I didn't learn anything from this game. in
Yeah,
terms of that
100%.
left-hand side.
Yeah, none of them, you know, Garnacho didn't have a poor game. Like, I thought he was very good off the ball, and on the ball he was decent. But for me, decent against Porro is not good enough. That's the point that I'm making. It's not good enough because he's there for the taking, Alex. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was there. He was there for the taking, and Gittins, he should have bagged as well. That would have been limbs. Imagine that. Imagine he bagged that goal, man.
That would have been good, mate. And to be fair, that would have probably guaranteed to start on Wednesday as well against Karabag. Although I'd still argue that
He's gonna start. He's gonna start, man. You already know. You already know what Maresca's gonna do. It'll be Esteval and getting starting again. We're gonna look at that pairing.
Start on Wednesday.
I think he will, man. He barely played yesterday.
Yeah,
he barely played. And then he came off. He came off after what? After half time against Wolves the other day.
And then Mark Guiu up top.
Yeah, Mark Guiu up top. I reckon Mark Guiu up top, Esteval on the right, and it will be Gittins on the left. I'll be very surprised if Garnacho starts that game. Very surprised.
Do you think that Garnacho is better than Neto?
No. I think they're similar, but I think they're quite similar, man. I think they're quite similar.
I'm coming out here saying that I really like Neto. I love his defensive work rate. And I do feel like there's a bit of a double standard. I think that people are much more harsh on Garnacho than Neto. Now, I agree that Neto's more reliable. I'm not disputing that. But on a game-by-game basis, I do feel like people are quite harsh on Garnacho. Like, again, I don't want to sit here and say that I love the guy, but I think it's important to give some of these players time when they first come in. I know our standards rise. I'm not saying that we should drop our standards, but also if we had Hazard on the bench and he was being dropped, it's different. You know, we had Gittins on the bench and I was like, okay, all right, fine, it's Garnacho.
Yeah.
It's just like if we played João Pedro in the 10, we had Mark Guiu up top. I don't have a massive problem with Guiu playing because it allows João Pedro to play in a position where I think he's more comfortable anyway. And then I speak to people like Charlie who goes, Mark Guiu isn't good enough for Chelsea. It's like, well, how else do you want to get the best out of João Pedro, and who else is going to play as a striker? Tyreek George? Like, nobody wants to see that.
Exactly.
So I don't know, man. Like, there's a few things you see in this team, even like James inverting or Gusto inverting. Like, it is what it is at times. It is what it is. That's what Maresca does, and it's worked and it hasn't worked. I will say this: I do think James on the ball. Like, I agree with you, Don. I think he's slow on the ball. He could move it faster. I don't think he had a bad game. I really don't think he had a bad game, especially defensively. I thought he was solid. If you remember the set pieces when he was marking Van der Ven, he was very, very physical on the long throws, on the corners. Didn't give him any space. He also didn't, he didn't do enough for Van der Ven to appeal for anything either. Obviously, Sanchez helped out claiming. We'll get into that in a second. But I thought James was really good, mate.
He was.
But he justified. But that kind of game, Don, justifies why you can get away with playing James in the midfield. Now, maybe not against City, maybe not against teams like that. Although I say that we did it against PSG. So if you can get away with it against them, like, who's to say that we can't do that more often?
Yeah, man. But for me, when you've got a player like Lavia and a player like Santos on the bench, bro, like, I'm picking them all day, every day ahead of Reece, right? Lavia obviously is load management right now because he came on to see out the game, and I thought he did well when he came on as well. Yeah, but like you're saying, Reece, my problem with Reece in the middle is that he thinks on his feet. He's not that proactive when he's playing in the midfield. To be fair to him, when he got fouled, that was very good. That's similar to what Lavia will do. Like, he saw the pass, as soon as the ball came, he just played it first time. That should have been a red as well. I watched it back. I don't know how that wasn't given as a red card, by the way. Yeah, that could have broken his ankle, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm so happy he played on because that was a dangerous tackle. He didn't, he didn't go to VAR, Alex. As in, he didn't go to the
no. We were waiting quite a while, but it was a bit of a strange one. Why didn't it go to VAR?
They didn't send him to the screen. I don't understand why, bro. I watched it back and I'm like, what? That's a red. That's a clear red card, bro. Yeah, clear red card, man. But honestly, Reece off the ball yesterday was so good, man. There was a moment where Xavi Simons, who got brought on and hooked off, he must have gave Caicedo the shoulder. He done that to Caicedo, dropped his shoulder. Caicedo went the wrong way. Reece just came and took the ball off of him, bro. Fantastic, yeah. In the box, like what you're saying, defensively, the leadership, yeah. There was like, what, 80 minutes gone. He came to the crowd, pumping us, making us, get up for it and that. Because you would say you were late to the game, yeah, bro. That stadium, it's my second time going there. It was not as loud last year, bro. This year it was fucking loud, Alex. Right? And most of the game we made these guys quiet. Towards the end of the game, we were the ones that were being heard because Reece and his leadership coming to the fans, yeah, appreciating the fans.
Enzo did the same thing as well. Yeah.
Enzo did the same thing as well. Yeah, it's really, really important that when we're at these games, especially when we're playing away as well, even at the Bridge, because last week, yeah, watching the Bridge last week, bro, because I wasn't there. Sunderland fans embarrassed us, Alex. I was embarrassed watching that. I'm like, yo, these lot have come and they're making this place their yard. They're making this place their gaff. Yeah, embarrassing, bro. Embarrassing. Yeah. So away days, bro, they need to be like yesterday, especially when we're in these moments where we need to get over the line. Make sure that you're cheering these lot on because they feel it on the pitch.
I will say one thing, Don. I was actually pretty disappointed, especially in that first half with the away atmosphere.
It wasn't great. It wasn't great. It wasn't great. But what I'm saying is,
Don, the truth is, mate, nobody says it, especially after a win. And I don't want to be Nelly, big negative or anything like that. But if we don't score, then we're fucking silent. We are silent, mate. And until we got that goal, it was, even when we scored at times, I was like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Like, the Wolves, you can understand it because you're spread out, but you're in a nice corner at Spurs. You're close to the pitch. What are we waiting for here?
I don't know what it was yesterday, man. I feel like because we were just so dominant, everyone kind of just felt at ease. Like it never felt like Tottenham were ever going to score. So maybe that played a part. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what it was. Because last year, if you remember, we were losing. We came back and we were going mad. Yeah, we were going mad. Even when it was 2-0 down last season, Alex. Yeah, we were still singing, shouting because we were playing well at that time. Because I remember I said to you last season when we played them. I said, bro, we're 2-0 down, but we're going to come back and win this game. Because that's how confident I was. Yesterday, I felt like maybe we were a little bit complacent because we could see how controlled we were. But we should be singing regardless. You're right. We should be singing regardless.
I thought it was a pretty poor game. I mean, if we're being honest, I'm saying we defended well. It was good to see us defend well. I thought, we didn't give them much time on the ball. The pressing was good. Absolutely. But I mean, if we compare it to last year, it was really boring. But I mean, a win is a win. Actually, in a lot of ways, it's more impressive because you get the clean sheet. You can brag about that. It gives us a little bit more confidence to win ugly, which is always important.
But the thing is, you're saying it, bro. You're saying it's a dead game, yeah. But
but Don, I'm saying that might have contributed to the atmosphere, the lack of atmosphere. Like, it wasn't an up and down game. It was very, well, I guess you would call it tactical, if that's what they say, isn't it? Like a chess match, trying to feel each other out. And then one team has a moment, and once you've got that moment, you're pretty comfy. I mean, João Pedro had one chance. I think Kudos forced a save as well, to be fair. So
towards the end of the first half. Towards the first, hey, listen, great segue into Sanchez as well, man. Honestly, yeah. This is a guy who I was cooking last season. I wanted him out of the 11 for Jorgensen because he kept fucking about, right? Jorgensen, I haven't fought for this guy since last season when he came in and wasn't being convincing. Sanchez came back in and actually did all right the second half of the season. But right now, away from the United game this season, Alex, he's been good, man. He hasn't been a problem. I'm not hearing people talking about him. That means that he's doing his job, yeah? Because if you're always talking about a goalkeeper, it means two things, right? It's either they're always fucking up, yeah? Or your team's always having shots faced and they're having to save you all the time. Right now, we're not constantly getting panned. That's one thing about Chelsea. We're not getting panned. We keep losing games or dropping points because of silly defending, silly moments, right? But, bro, in the air, the way that he collects the ball in the air, Alex, he's one of the best in the league at doing it. He's so good at doing it, man. Yeah? Yesterday, those set pieces, those corners that they were putting in, man was just grabbing it nicely.
That reminds me of Courtois, mate. That's the last keeper who should do that on a regular basis.
Regular. What do you expect when you've got a goalkeeper that's what, 6'7"? You know what I mean? 6'7", bro, and that's what you're going to be seeing from Penders when he comes as well. Yeah.
How tall is Penders? Similar.
He's 6'7".
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's 6'7". I think Sanchez is 6'4". So imagine that. So yeah, I think Penders is 6'7". Yeah, I'm pretty sure
that's like the same height as Donnarumma or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, Donnarumma's 6'6", I think. something like that. I mean, Tosin's 6'6", right? Or 6'5".
I don't know.
These guys are cool.
Tall.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Pender's big pause on that, man. Big pause on that.
Fucking hell, done.
Hey, don't kill me. No, don't kill me. That's funny, man.
Let's move on.
But yeah, Sanchez, the distribution, I thought yesterday was good. There was a moment where he could have like calmed it down a bit. He tried to play it to Neto. And Maresca, you were saying Maresca wasn't happy with that. But away from that, bro, I thought the short passing was good. I thought the long passing at parts was good as well. He's just doing his job right now. That's what he needs to be doing. Yeah. If he can, I'm telling you, Alex, if he can cut out those bozo mistakes out of his game, he would be one of the best keepers in the league. But the problem with him, people focus on the mistakes because they're so consistent. They forget about all these good performances because he'll make another mistake. And it's, oh, that's all he is. He's a bozo. That's all he is. He's a bozo. You know what I'm saying? So please just cut them out because a lot of these mistakes he makes are so avoidable. Yeah. Look at the mistake he made last season at the Etihad, Alex. There was no need for him to run out like that. Yeah. The 2 mistakes he made against Brighton at home last season when we won 4-2, there was no need for him to jump out like that the way that he did. Against Wolves, when the ball got crossed in for the corner, man just dropped the ball. That's so unavoidable. That's so avoidable. Against Man United, there's no need for you to crash into man. Just let him have the one-on-one and score or anything, or try to save it at least. And then we've got the rest of the game with 11 men. So many mistakes that he makes are avoidable. The pass to Declan Rice against Arsenal, bruv, that's avoidable.
We win that game. We win that game without that.
We win that game without that. We were cruising comfortably 2-0, and then he just gives it away. So these mistakes are just simple lapses of concentration. Take that out of your game, and he can be a very, very good goalkeeper because his shot stopping is good. He's got a good height. He's a good cross collector. His distribution can be better, but it's not the worst for me. I don't think I've seen worse than him, you know. So boy, he's plugging away right now, man. Big him up. Big him up.
Maybe it's a bit like Fofana in the sense that you just need to see some consistent. Well, of course, it's like that. You know, you just need to see him play to a certain level for a consistent period. If Sanchez went 6 months without a mistake, you could make the argument that it's not a problem having him in the squad next season. But that's as a number 1 or a number 2. Like, who knows?
He just did that though, Alex. He just did that. And if you remember the Club World Cup, right? He was one of the main reasons why we ended up winning it. Because I
don't know if he's had 6 months of making no mistakes, Don. I'm not sure. I would call it that.
I'm saying the second half of the season. If you remember, the last major mistake he made was against Man City. After the Man City mistake, I can't remember any mad mistakes he made after that. And then he followed up in the Club World Cup where he played really well. That final, bro, he was brilliant. He was amazing. If Donnarumma puts a performance like that, or Courtois puts a performance like that, yeah, everyone's saying world class, world class, world class. Now Sanchez obviously isn't world class, but my point is he has contributed and shown us top performances in many games, right? In many games. For me, it's just the mistakes he needs to cut out. That's the main thing for me.
Yeah, I think the United game was that was the one, wasn't it? When he made the mistake and got the red card. That's the one that was clear to
before
me.
United. Could you remember the last one before United? The
worst game before United, probably Atlanta in that was against LAFC. I thought he was shy in that game, and that was the first game we played in the Club World Cup, mate. He
I remember he kept giving the ball away. Constantly,
like, I think he kicked the ball into one of their players and almost conceded. Like, it was one of those moments where you were like, "Oh God, here we go." But he got better in the Club World Cup. He didn't get worse. He improved. He continued to, tick away, and obviously by the end of it, like he was a huge factor as to why we won that tournament. I think the final game speaks for itself if you watch the highlights. But I don't know, man. I always, for me, last season when I lost patience with Maresca, it was number 1 because of Sanchez. I was like, you can't play this goalkeeper. Now we can't make that excuse because we've seen Jorgensen, who's clearly not good enough, and
he needs to go. He needs to leave. He needs to get out of it.
How much did we spend on Jorgensen? What, 18 or was it 30?
I don't even remember, bro.
It was around the 20 to 30 mark, whatever it was. And I'm just thinking to myself, we're not making profit on that. And that begs the question: that how are we going to move this guy on? Is he going to go out on loan? Is he going to, what's the strategy there? Because a bit like Jackson, Don, if Chelsea can't get rid of him, I think they just loan him for 4 years and they'll just get 10 million, 10 million, 10 million, 10 million, and then you accumulate, and that's how you get your money back.
He'll get sold, Alex. He'll get sold. Trust me.
No, I mean, I hope he does. But if you can't, then you've got that option because they're on such long contracts.
Yeah, now he'll go, man. He'll go. I remember he was linked to Marseille before we bought him and Valles. Valles is the guy that I wanted at Chelsea.
Sorry, you talking about Jorgensen or Jackson?
Jorgensen, yeah, Jorgensen. Right. Like Jorgensen, he was linked to Marseille. He was linked to Marseille before we bought him. Right. There'll be Spanish clubs that will look at him again because he did pretty well in Spain in a team that were conceding so many goals weekly, right? Very similar to our time with Poch. They conceded like 60 goals when he was there. I think teams in Spain would come, probably even teams in Italy, maybe even some Premier League teams would come in for him. You know what I mean, bro? He'll definitely get a move. I don't see it being a problem. Even if we've got to, we just break even, just go do what you got to do, and then bring Pendas back next year. Pendas can play the cup games, maybe some Premier League games as well, and then we move, bro. We build like that.
I think the priority is definitely a centre-back, based on what we're seeing at the moment. 2 centre-backs, really. I mean, that takes into account that if we're being honest, we'll probably have to sell Tosin or Chalobah. One of those two will probably end up getting sold just because it's pure profit.
Who would you sell?
Sorry, mate?
Who would you sell out of the 2?
I'd probably sell... I think you get more money for Chalobah than Tosin. I think they're both around the 20 million mark. I reckon you could probably justify 30 million for Chalobah and maybe 20 for Tosin. So, I mean, if you're looking at it on profit, I think Chalobah. But in terms of profile and what Maresca wants, Chalobah's not actually the profile, is he? I mean, because you got Colwell and then you've got Tosin. Those are the 2 ball-playing centre-backs. So... I mean, that would lean towards Chalobah being sold. But, I mean, I'm a big fan of Chalobah. I love Chalobah, but I think he only really performs his best when he's got good players around him. And he can play at any level. I think he can play for top teams, mate. Like, I could see Chalobah playing for pretty much any team as long as he's got the right experience and cover around him, because he came in and slotted under Tuchel and was fantastic. But he had Thiago Silva. He had... all that really cover around him and the experience. So the pressure's not on him as an individual to lead us forward. And when you've got Tosin on one side and Chalobah on the other side, like, respect to Tosin for what he can bring to a dressing room, but there's leadership and there's leadership. And yeah, you might help the team morale, but I'm sorry, even the goal we conceded against Wolves on the counter, you probably remember that one. I thought the communication was poor from both of them.
Josh and Tosin were a mess. Josh and Tosin were a mess.
I think Chalobah is a better defender than Tosin. I think he is a better defender.
Yeah, probably.
But I mean, in terms of the profile, I think Tosin suits what Maresca's going to do more so as a squad rotation player, because we've got Achimpong who's come through, and I'm just going to make the presumption that Fofana is going to stay fit. I mean, that's me being positive. So then it leaves you in a position where you don't really need Chalobah in there. He'd just be third choice. And obviously, Antonina's going to come back, and Sarr from Strasbourg as well.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Yeah, 100%. For me, bro, listen, Chalobah, I've just seen one too many bozo mistakes from this guy over the years, Alex, man. Yeah. You're right. When he's next to like Colwell or next to better defenders like Fofana yesterday, he's locked in. It's like he's locked in. You know what I mean? When you put him next to Tosin and these sort of guys, bro, it's peak. It's so peak. Situations like last week, right? Where he's just watching Tosin. I've seen him have so many brain farts like that. So I just can't trust this guy. I know most of the season he's going to be at the crime scene when we're conceding goals. When he came back last year...
Be at the crime scene.
The crime scene, I'm telling you, bro, he's always at the crime scene. Every time we concede, or majority of the time when we fucking concede, he's played a part in something, bro. And that's where I'm like, yo, I've been seeing this for years. Why have you not improved? Yeah. And obviously Tosin, I don't want Tosin to be a starter in his team, but I don't mind him as a squad player. I don't mind him.
He was great in the Conference League. Was he brilliant last season in those kind of games? That's the thing.
Bro, even in the Prem when he was coming in, if you remember, I think the only poor game I saw from him in the Prem was against Liverpool. yeah, where he got a yellow card early. He could have even got sent off that game. But bro, like when I saw him playing against the Colwell, the game against Forest always sticks out to me, right? Towards the end of the season, well, the last game of the season, I was sitting right at the front, and I'm telling you, those two together, I could hear him. I could see how they were defending, bro, in the box, the heading in the box, the height he was offering us, right? He was actually being aggressive when he was playing next to Cole as well, you know? So if you're just taking him in and out, he's not a problem. It's only when you're consistently seeing him week in, week out, and teams are like, oh, Tosin's playing today, again, over the top, sorry, 1v1, isolate him, is peak. You can't defend him. You know what I'm saying, bro? But yeah, listen, both of them really and truly, they can both leave. If I'm being totally honest, they could both leave. I've got more time for, you know, the likes of Sarr that's coming through.
I think that's so harsh on Chalobah, mate. I think that's so harsh on Chalobah. Like Chalobah, mate, for me is yeah, he is a bit of a good squad player as well. The issue that you have is just that there's other players ahead of him in the pecking order.
Yeah, but the problem is though, Alex,
you say that, Don. You make pure profit on Achimpong. You know, I'm
not selling
Fofana's wages off the books as well. If you want to look at it that way, I mean, I'm just thinking what the club might be thinking.
I've got more time for Josh, man. I've got more time for Josh. I've got more time for.
I love Achimpong as well. Fair play to him.
I've got more time for Anselmino. I've got more time for Sarr. These are the sort of guys that I've got time for because they've got a ceiling and they're going to get better. Chalobah and Tosin, they're not going to get any better than what we've seen. Yeah, like Chalobah, yes, he's a good squad player, but bro, obviously Colwell, we don't know the Colwell that's going to come back for one. He could end up just being injury prone, right? When you're having to depend on obviously, God forbid, but when you're having to depend on Chalobah, it's an ugly sight, and it's the same thing as Tosin, bro. I shouldn't be feeling like that, right? Because you can look at Arsenal, for example. They've got fucking Mosquera and Hincapi. Obviously, they want Gabriel and Saliba to be staying fit. But I can see that pairing, you know, being competent together. I can see them working together long term. Tosin and Chalobah, they're just not good enough to be working long term in this team together, starting, bro. That's the problem. So yes, they're squad players, but what happens when someone's out for ages? Do we trust these guys to be playing at the level we need them to?
I mean, you say that. Sorry, you're talking about when players are injured, Tosin and Chalobah filling in. I see.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem that I've got. When they're in the team over a sustained period of time, you just know that they're going to do some fuckery, Alex, right? And that's what I said at the end of the video yesterday. We need to let it be known that pairing cannot be seen again. I don't want to see that pairing again, bro, from starting games. I don't want to see it because it stinks. It reminds me of when I used to watch Zuma and Christensen. That pairing used to stink as well, bruv. Yeah? So please, Maresca needs to fix up, man, on that front. Do you remember Zuma and Christensen? Those two, oh my Jesus Lord. I used to hate those two together, honestly. I used to hate them together, man.
I'm trying to think, which manager was that? Was that Lampard?
That was Lampard, yeah. That was Lampard. Yeah. Yeah, they were. I did not like those two together, man. Because remember, Rudiger got dropped in that.
Well, Rudiger was terrible, and then Tuchel came in and he sort of reignited him. But no, I remember that well. I tell you what as well, mate. Looking at the subs, we've got Lavia in that game, Santos, Hato, Achimpong, Gittins, Esteval, Tosin, Guiu, and yours. I think all of those players play against Karabag. Maybe not Lavia. That's probably the only one. But
you're probably going to see the same. Yeah, you're probably going to see a same. Yeah, it's true. You're going to see a similar team to what you saw against Wolves. We made 10 changes for that one, innit?
Yeah, we changed pretty much everyone. Yeah.
I think Lavia will probably start. I think Santos will start. I think Esteval and Gittins will start. I think Guiu will start. I think Hato will start at left back. I think left centre back, you're probably looking at Josh and then Tosin on the other side. Right back, I think maybe Gusto will probably start. He came off, so I reckon Gusto will probably start. But yeah, man, we got to win that game. You're going to be there, innit? You're going to be there. You're going to Baku.
I am going to Baku. I need to get my emergency visa. Still haven't got my visa.
You haven't got it?
No, I still haven't got it. I looked it up though. You can get an emergency visa in 3 hours. So,
how much is it?
I haven't checked. I don't want to check. I'm just going to pay it without looking.
Let me Google this.
Close my eyes and emergency. You tell me what the damage is, mate.
Yeah, so look, emergency 3 to 5 hours. Yeah, visa. Let's see this. Where's the price? It says it takes. Wait, visit application page. You need what, 3 to 5 working days or 3 to 5 hours?
Hours. Fucking hell, Don.
Or
Don't
emergency
do me like
service. Fucking hell, man. Right, let's see. United Kingdom. Choose an option. Ordinary passport.
I'm not messing around today, are you, Don?
It's saying $166, bro.
Oh God. Wow.
$166.
And what's a regular visa cost?
What, the 3 to 5 day one?
Yeah.
Standard service.
Passed.
Yeah. Right, exactly. You can't do it. You can't even do that. So yeah, you're gonna have to pay, what's that? Like £140?
Ah, brilliant. Lovely.
Yeah, let me convert.
You know, as well, Don. I was on the phone to my dad. I was like, "Oh, do you mind if I stay in your hotel room, Dad?" He went, "Sure, yeah." When are you flying out there? I went, "Oh, I'm getting there on the Tuesday." He went, "Yeah, I'm getting there on Wednesday, mate." Oh, fuck.
You got to pay for that as well. Well, you're looking like
well.
£126.
Beautiful.
£120.19.
Beautiful.
Peak. Sorry, mate.
Well, and maybe I should start a GoFundMe page for Baku. So if anyone wants to support the channel, become a member, whatever it is, it all helps, guys. It all helps.
Yeah.
Check out IP Vanish as well. 83% discount if you scan the QR code on screen. Link below. It all helps. It all helps. Right. Big up to you, Don. Appreciate you coming on, mate. Nice little chat. Good little chat about everything that's going on. We're in a better place now than we were after Sunderland. We're in a much better place. So let's build on this. Let's get some wins on the board. And listen, big up to everyone that's been watching for the whole show as well. We will catch up very, very soon.